What good is money unless you use it to the benefit of the community and of humanity in general?
There's a smile in every Hershey's bar. The hat was a goner, definitely a goner. Milton looked down into the printing press at the straw hat he had just dropped, now covered in ink and dented.
You're a failure, Milton Hershey, just like your father before you. Are you ever going to succeed at anything?
There went his chance to make something of himself and to make his mother proud. Dragging his feet, Milton trudged back to his home, where he knew his mother, Fanny, would be waiting. What would he do now? After her morning prayers, she would put him to work doing chores.
There's nothing like an appreciation for hard work.
Milton wasn't so sure about that. His imagination sparked as he saw himself in a candy store, selling sweets to young people just like him. Fanny Hershey, whose belief in her only son was absolute, found Milton a position with a master confectioner in Lancaster. And 4 years later, he was qualified to make candy.
Aunt Mattie, I wonder if you would loan me some money. I'd like to start my own candy store in Philadelphia.
At 19 years old, he headed to Philadelphia and set up a store on his own. Unfortunately, no matter how hard he worked, he couldn't sell enough candy to stay afloat. Eventually, he was forced to file for bankruptcy. In his eyes, it was a monumental failure. 4 years later, he decided to give the candy store idea another try. Although he had high hopes, this new storefront was also unsuccessful. He went bankrupt again. And he was only 26 years old. He'd heard his father was looking for silver in the mines. He traveled to Denver to spend time with him and thought he could do the same. Unfortunately, when he arrived, he found there was no silver. Milton decided to seek employment with a local caramel candy company instead. Milton didn't know it when he started, but that job would give him the secret ingredient he needed to move from failure to success.
You're using milk?
Milton asked his boss as he watched him make candy one day.
For the caramels?
Sure. It makes them creamy. Try one.
Milton bit into the soft, delicious caramel and was immediately transfixed. The creaminess of the milk gave the sticky caramel a smooth chewiness. When he headed back to Pennsylvania in 1886, he imagined his relatives whispering about him as he passed by.
Irresponsible drifter. He wasted all that money from his aunt. Twice bankrupted.
But Milton had 3 people still in his corner. One was his mother. The second was his friend William Lebkecher, who had worked for him in Philadelphia. His third encourager was his Aunt Mattie, whose purse strings were still open for a loan. They had no doubt that he would eventually triumph with his sweet ideas. Milton began to develop what would become his renowned Hershey's Crystal, a caramel candy. He made it during the day and took it out in the evening, selling to passers-by from a handcart. Milton was a strong believer in word-of-mouth advertising. The quality of his caramel did speak for itself. His business grew rapidly, but he was not just in the business to make money. He generously shared his proceeds with others, his donations rising as his income rose. His business, the Lancaster Caramel Company, grew and began to make substantial profits. By 1900, he was ready to sell the Lancaster Caramel Company for $1 million and focus entirely on mass-producing milk chocolate bars. He was seeking a place with cows for fresh milk, a dedicated workforce, and a good source of water. Derry County provided all of these. But Milton was not just interested in building a factory. He wanted to build a model town as well. His mother had always inspired him with biblical teachings, and Milton followed the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. For Milton, looking after his employees was doing unto others. To begin with, he built a post office and boarding house for factory employees. As the town grew, he also opened a public park and planted gardens for the residents. He then built a bank to provide a way for employees to own and build their own homes in the town. He built churches, schools, and recreational facilities to ensure his employees lived comfortable lives in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Milton's business shrewdness kept the Hershey Company growing throughout the Great Depression and both World Wars. Those who worked with him spoke of his perseverance and his constant concern for others. He lived long enough to see the end of World War II, passing away in a hospital in 1945. The Hershey Chocolate Company is still one of the world's finest candy-making companies. If Milton Hershey had given up when he faced failure and not followed the spark of his vibrant imagination, the world today would be a lot less sweet.